Hello students, in this video let's continue with the various compounds which were prepared by the NaCl, that is sodium chloride. The first compound we prepared, it was sodium hydroxide, second was bleaching powder, third was baking soda, and now we are going to discuss about the fourth one, that is the washing soda. Washing soda, it is also called as sodium carbonate DECA. DECA stands for 10 hydrate, that means water molecules. Its formula is Na2CO3.10H2O. Sodium carbonate DECA hydrate, 10 water molecules. This is a basic salt. As we can see in the formula, it is the cationic part, it is derived from the NaOH, and the anionic part, it is derived from the carbonic acid. And out of the two, the base, it is strong, so the nature of the salt, it is basic. Okay. Now, it is prepared by the process that is called as Solvay's process. Now, this Solvay's process, it is taking place in 3 steps. Okay. In the first step, manufacture of NaHCO3. We had already done NaHCO3. It is also called as baking soda. So what was the chemical reaction in which this baking soda was prepared? We had taken a brine solution, NaCl plus H2O. When it combines with CO2 and ammonia, then it was forming NaHCO3 plus NH4Cl. Okay, so the first step of the Solvay's process is manufacture of NaHCO3. Step 2, thermal decomposition of NaHCO3. Thermal decomposition, that means it decomposes to form 2 or more simpler substances on heating. So we are taking NaHCO3. On heating, it forms Na2CO3 plus CO2 plus H2O. Okay, here we will write 2 for balancing the equation. So here we can say that on thermal decomposition of sodium bicarbonate, we are getting sodium carbonate. Okay, now step 3, recrystallization of sodium carbonate. This sodium carbonate, it is dissolved in water, and then the recrystallization is done. So the third step, Na2CO3 plus 10 water molecules gets added and it forms Na2CO3 dot 10H2, and this is our washing soda. Students, in our textbook we have been given with the last reaction. These 2 reactions they had discussed in case of baking soda, so you can go through it. So actually it is taking place in 3 steps. Okay, now I'll tell you 2 things about this Na2CO3. This Na2CO3 dot 10H2O, this molecule of sodium carbonate dot 10H2O, that is washing soda molecule, when kept open in air at a room temperature, it loses 9 molecules of water and it forms Na2CO3 dot H2O along with 9 water molecules. At room temperature, it is kept exposed, and the name of the compound is sodium carbonate. 1 water molecule is there, so we will write monohydrate. Okay. This process, when water molecules comes out at its own, when kept at open at ordinary temperature, it is called as efflorescence, that we will discuss in the next section. When this washing soda, it is heated, when it is heated, then all the 10 water molecules comes out and it forms Na2CO3 plus 10H2O. Okay, and this is anhydrous. This is called as anhydrous sodium carbonate. Here all the water molecules comes out and here 9 molecules of water comes out and it forms monohydrate. Okay, now after discussing about its properties, let's see its uses. This is used in laundry for cleaning clothes. Cleaning of clothes is done with the help of washing soda since older times. So it is having one of the important use over here. Now, it is also used to remove permanent hardness of water. See students, in chapter 4, we will discuss about the permanent hardness of the water. Sometimes the quality of the water is not good. We say that the water is hard, and it is due to the presence of calcium and magnesium ions. Suppose in the water we are having calcium chloride. Okay. Now in that hard water, if we are adding this Na2CO3, that is washing soda, then it precipitates it. This calcium ion, this permanent hardness, it was due to calcium or magnesium ions. Okay. Now this washing soda, it precipitates this calcium ions in the form of calcium carbonate along with NaCl. Okay, and this is formed in the form of PBT, and it get settled down. So it is used to remove permanent hardness of water. Okay, I can write one more equation. Suppose in the sample of the hard water we are having magnesium ions. So this Na2CO3, it combines with magnesium sulfate. Suppose it is present, then magnesium will precipitate in the form of carbonate, MgCO, magnesium carbonate. Yes, of course it is magnesium carbonate. It gets precipitated. Along with this, what we are getting? Na2SO4, and it is soluble into the water. So the calcium ions comes out in the form of calcium carbonate, magnesium ions comes out in the form of magnesium carbonate, and it can be filtered off. The last use, it is manufacture of glass, soaps, paper industries also find its use. Borax. What is the formula of borax? Na2B4O7.10H2O. So students, in the next section we will discuss what is this 10H2O over here in the borax as well as in the washing soda. What do you mean by this 10H2O molecules? Now we are going to discuss, are the crystals really dry? That we discussed the formula of the washing soda was Na2CO3.10H2O. So what do you mean by these 10H2O molecules? Let's see that. Here we are doing one experiment. We have taken one boiling tube. This is our boiling tube. Students, this boiling tube, if we are heating the mixture in the boiling tube, it can bear a high temperature as compared to test tube. So for heating for a longer time, we are preferring boiling tube. Okay, and this is of course the burner. This is the holder. In this, we had taken blue vitriol. Students, I guess you should know what is the blue vitriol crystals. They are copper sulfate. So these are blue vitriol crystals. Color of the crystals, it is blue. Now this boiling tube is completely dry. There is no water inside this. Okay, when you heat this dry crystals with the help of burner, what will happen? After some time, the color of the crystals turns from blue to white, and in the inner walls of the boiling tube there will be some water droplets. Okay, so let's mark them. These are water droplets. Students, the blue color and water droplets cannot be at the same time. Initially, the color of the salt is blue. You had started heating. Afterwards, it will turn to white, and there will be water droplets seen inside the wall of the boiling tube. So, what we are saying, that copper sulfate. What is the formula of copper sulfate? CuSO4.5H2O. The color, it is blue. Okay. Now, when it is heated up, it changes to CuSO4 plus 5 water molecules, and the color of this, it is white. Okay, and one term we will be using, this is hydrated salt, HYDRATED. The word we will be using, hydrated. And when it loses water molecules, it forms the anhydrous salt. Okay, so hydrated salt on heating, it forms the anhydrous salt, and the color changes from blue to white. So what we can say, there are fixed number of water molecules present in one formula unit of the salt, and this is called as water of crystallization. So the crystals of blue vitriol, that is copper sulfate, they are having 5 molecules of water of crystallization. These crystals, they seems to be dry, but actually they are having the water of crystallization. Okay, so here I am going to discuss some terms as well as some more examples of the salts which are having the water of crystallization. Let's see this example. Green vitriol. What is the formula of green vitriol? FeSO4.7H2O. White vitriol, it is ZnSO4.7H2O. Epsom, it is magnesium sulfate .7H2O. Borax, that we had already discussed, Na2B4O7.10H2O. Washing soda, that we all know, Na2CO3.10H2O. Blue vitriol, copper sulfate .5H2O. CuSO4.5H2O. So what are these 5 molecules of water of crystallization? Now we will discuss some terms which are very important. First, efflorescence. Certain hydrated salts, when exposed to atmosphere at ordinary temperature, loses water molecules either partially or completely. That is the example, it is washing soda. When these salts kept at ordinary temperature, at room temperature, when they are exposed, they loses the water molecules either completely or partially, and this phenomena is called as efflorescence. Okay. Now the next one is deliquescence. Deliquescence, and one more term, it will be hygroscopy. Okay. Now what is deliquescence? Now opposite to this one, they are giving out the water molecules, and here certain substances absorb moisture on exposure to atmosphere at ordinary temperature. That means when they are kept exposed to the atmosphere at ordinary temperature, they absorb the moisture, and they, along with that water absorbed, they dissolve in it and they form a solution. Okay. For the deliquescence, the various examples you can note down. It is NaOH. Sodium hydroxide pellets, they absorb moisture. Potassium hydroxide, it also absorbs moisture, it shows deliquescence nature. Then FeCl3, okay, it also shows. So these are the various examples you can note down. You can add many more examples over here. Now hygroscopy and deliquescence, what is the difference between these two terms? Hygroscopy, in this also the substances absorb moisture on exposure to atmosphere at ordinary temperature, but they do not dissolve. They also absorb moisture, they also absorb moisture, I will write it down, but do not dissolve in it to form solution. Okay, they do not dissolve in it to form the solution. Here we can take the example of quicklime. Okay, quicklime, when absorb moisture, it forms the hygroscopic nature, it shows the hygroscopic nature. We can take example of silica gel. This is also showing this nature. We can take the example of H2SO4. H2SO4 also absorbs some moisture but do not dissolves in it. Okay. Now we will discuss the plaster of Paris, how it is formed and how many molecules of water it is having. The last topic of the chapter is plaster of Paris. See students, the formula of the plaster of Paris, it is calcium sulfate half water molecule. So it is also called as hemihydrate. I can write here calcium sulfate Hemi. Hemi means half. Calcium sulfate hemihydrate. How we are preparing this from gypsum? Let's see. The formula of gypsum, it is calcium sulfate dot 2H2O. What is this 2H2O? Two molecules of water of crystallization. And this is gypsum. Okay. Now, when this gypsum is heated to 373 Kelvin, then 1.5 molecule of water comes out and we get plaster of Paris, CaSO4 dot half H2O along with 1.5 molecule of water comes out, and this is called as plaster of Paris. Okay. Now, here one thing we have to notice, if the temperature is not controlled, then all the two water molecules will come out and you will get anhydrous calcium sulfate. Let's write that equation also. CaSO4 dot 2H2O. This is gypsum when the heating is not controlled. That means it is heated at high temperature. It forms CaSO4 along with 2H2O, and this is called as anhydrous calcium sulfate. And students, this anhydrous calcium sulfate, it is also called as dead burnt plaster. Okay, so whenever you are preparing the plaster of Paris, the temperature should be controlled. Otherwise, you will get a dead burnt plaster. Now, this plaster of Paris, it is having certain uses as we had discussed for the other compounds also. It is used in making toys, POP. It is basically sent with the name of POP, plaster of Paris. In making toys, pottery, etc. In making designs on the roofs, if you had seen the false ceiling, that it is made up of POP. For covering the wall, plaster of Paris say we are covering the wall. Okay. Third, in surgical bandages for setting fractured bones. You must have seen, if the bone gets fractured, the doctor used to apply the bandage, and along with that he is putting a white colored powder with the help of water. Okay, that white colored powder, it is placed over there, that is plaster of Paris, and a layer of water is applied, and along with that a bandage is also wrapped, and after some time what happens, this powder substance, the white powder substance hardens and it forms the gypsum. So what reaction is taking place? Actually, the plaster of Paris, it takes the water molecule and it hardens to form gypsum. So the reverse reaction is taking place where it is used for supporting the fractured bone. So here you can write the equation, plaster of Paris, that is calcium sulfate half water molecule. It combines with 3/2 H2 molecule, that is 1.5, and it hardens to form a substance CaSO4 dot 2H2O, that is called as gypsum. You must have seen the white colored plaster, that is so hard, and that is actually the gypsum. And the last one is in making fireproof materials also this POP is used. So what we mean to say here, students, here this half water molecule, what do you mean by half? Half molecule doesn't exist, but here the actual formula for this plaster of Paris, it is 2CaSO4 dot H2O. That means two calcium sulfate units, they are sharing one water molecule. So the mystery of half, it is nothing but one water molecule, it is shared by two calcium sulfate units. So here students, we had completed the chapter 2nd, that is acids, bases and salts. Now just go through it, go through it and prepare it nicely. Thank you.